even where you have your trucks. Some of the sites are located in locations where you can park your truck and trek for the next 3 or 4 kilometers to get to the site, the location. Government have to introduce the use of modern technology of the satellite imagery and remote sensing interpretation to aid to identify where most of these illegal operations are taking place. Now, we will look at the policy strategies of government to combat these illegal operations wherever they occur. First and foremost, like the first speaker had told us, the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act, that is more or less like a regulation, is in place. This should be your handbook. Day in, day out, you should make reference to it. But if for any reason you cannot understand what the act is stating, then we have the regulation, which was equally enacted in 2011 to aid you and to assist you, because that compendium is so simplified that even a layman will understand what it contains there. Government have put those things and have gone ahead to develop and implement appropriate policies to address critical issues of the sector. The other step government has taken is to establish a digitalized cadastral system, which to date has continued to perform and function effectively. I believe that institution alone has entrusted faith in investors that come into the country, backed by the fact that the law states or guarantees tenure of title. Part of the components of that production or establishment is the invocation of the use or use it or you lose it clause, which no operator, most of us present here, will not want to hear. But I think it serves as an instrument to keep us abreast of what role we have to play and that of the government. Government has taken steps to fully establish and to drive the collaboration with the state government and the local council. Local communities, traditional rulers, everybody is being taken on board to be part of this program so that all the reports of the issues in the field will be addressed. Another step government has taken, part of which is the establishment of artisanal and small-scale mining department to address the issue of formalization and the provision of extension services. Government has taken step again, like I said earlier on, the mine surveillance task force, which is already in full gear. And then we are boosting the capacity of the personnel of the ministry to be able to handle and manage every situation wherever they are in the country. We are also looking at instituting a GIS center, remote sensing, and the use of satellite imagery. In real-time satellite imagery will identify locations, fresh locations, or determine what extent of encroachment beyond the existing operation where illegal activities are taking place. And of course, we have talked of seeking regional collaboration with neighboring ECOWAS states to checkmate the insistent flow in and out of aliens from neighboring countries. Along the line too, we seek the support of every agencies of government plus the operators in the mineral certification program. That will add impetus to your premium even if you have to export to your commodity. Finally, I will say that this council this year have given us the opportunity at least to enlighten us more and to give us the encouragement to carry out our operations legitimately, but on the whole, we must have to abide by the extant laws and the guidelines we have to drive the sector. Nigeria is not yet a mining destination, but I think that with all of us putting our hands together and driving this effort, tomorrow will be an edge around. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick Ojeka. Mr. Ojeka is the Director, Artisanal and Small Scale Mining in the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development. And we apologize for the slight mix-up there at the beginning in projecting his presentation.
The responsibility to issue or reissue another license or permit after an investor has been appropriately allocated a mining space. It is, you see, it negates everything that we talk about as a country. The ease of doing business that the government is so passionate about these days. We are putting another level of control, midstream. And yes, I can understand some of the arguments that state governments bring about. That how can somebody be licensed from Abuja to come and mine a mineral in their backyard? That demonstrates a total lack of understanding or unwillingness to really understand what the Constitution says and also what the laws regarding mineral exploitation say. Your land is your land for as long as there is no discovery of any mineral under it. The moment a mineral is discovered, you have lost ownership of that land. You can only there and then be compensated. What the state governors can only argue is the maybe probably review of the mineral laws and land, what is it? Land title, land use act. And until and unless that is done, I think we should respect extant laws for as long as they remain relevant. There is also the forum of the National Economic Council. They can take their arguments there. But whatever arguments you may want to have, as long as it goes against the spirit and letter of the Constitution, it stands null and void. So it's really very frightening, and I hope representatives of state governments that are here who engage in such practices can take the word back. Ours is the technical session. The council will deliberate upon this and will come up with a position by Thursday, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to just do some brief recognitions again. Stakeholders in this business. We have.
What I want to give here is this: is that we have a narrative of artisanal mining or illegal mining that is a bit narrow. We need to broaden it a little so that we'll be able to understand fully what we are dealing with. When did mining really occur in Nigeria? I will run through it, please, sir. I will run through it because the paper is there and everything, the details are in here. Definition of illegal mining: mining without permit, period. Whoever mines without a mining lease is an illegal miner. That's illegal mining. Now, artisanal mining or small-scale mining, is it illegal? We need to take a new look at it. Now, artisanal mining means small-scale mining involving extraction of minerals using simple tools. We have a provision for that in the small-scale mining lease. But incidentally, we have people using excavators and G8 bulldozers working on small-scale mining leases. These are illegal miners. Another set of people are those people who have exploration licenses all over here. They are meant to explore and determine areas where good occurrences of minerals are, then they can acquire mining leases. Today, only one company has a mining lease for base metals, Tongyi. Of every other person that has exploration license here that mines with an exploration license is an illegal miner. Now, let's take a brief history. It's often said that the British were the ones that brought mining to Nigeria. They taught us how to mine. It's not right. Mohammed Bello mentioned in his book, Ifad Mazrui, that mining and smelting of tin ore was going on in Rilwe, Kano right before the jihad. They didn't teach us. Sir William Wallace saw finished product of tin, and that is when they started tracing where the finished product of tin came, and they discovered it in Upper Bauchi. And then from that point, he convinced the Niger Mining Company to get 1,000 tons, and from that moment, they came in and started grabbing land. Now, let me explain to you. In the old railway, you had official royal smelters. The artisan miners mine and supply to the official royal smelters, no illegal mining. 1990 to 1920, when the British started mining, they did not bring in one shovel. The illegal miners, the artisans, were the ones that produced for the British companies to export. Now, there are two sets of artisans at that point. You are either an artisan supplying to the royal smelters or an artisan supplying to the British companies. If you are an artisan supplying to the British companies, you are not an illegal miner. If you are an artisan supplying to the royal smelters, you are an illegal miner. So please get out the new frame of mind of legal and illegal. From 1920 to 1945, there was introduction of mechanization. So full production of minerals that were leaving Nigeria was 70% by the artisanal miners, 30% by mechanized methods. At this point, the British had successfully closed down the local smelters. So everything, 100% went to the British companies, no illegal miners. From 1945 to 1960, when Zik and Co started to raise up dust that they needed Nigerian participation in mining, the British people were smart enough to introduce a set of people called tributars. Now, these tributars, their job was to have a group of artisan miners buy product from them and sell to the Igbo company. And so, at this point again, no illegal miners. Now we come to 1960 to 1980. 70% production by artisans, 30% mechanical method. At this point, Mercury Smelting Company had been built. And so nobody needed to export. Everybody supplied Mercury their tin ore. But something happened. At this point, those Nigerian people who were called tributars started to metamorphose into mining. I want you to take note of this carefully because that's the problem we're having today. The first group of Nigerian miners were former supervisors of artisans who knew nothing about prospecting, knew nothing about exploration, not to talk of the mining itself mechanically. So these were the set of people who posed as miners. Bibizan and Co. They became our Nigerian miners. So they didn't know exactly how to go about prospecting. They didn't know exactly how to go about exploration. That was where our problem started. In 1980, under the indigenization policy, we then drove away this set of people who used to buy product from our artisans and export. They alone knew the export process. If you go through the colonial reports, you will always see quantity produced, what it was sold for and where it was exported to. There was excellent governance of the system. But the very moment we indigenize these companies, no more governance. We indigenize them and we do not take into perspective how exports were going to take place. No laws for exports, no laws for production. It was an all-commerce field. And that was where our problems started to date. Now, you sent away the people who were buying the products. The artisans are still there. Innocent artisans looking for who to sell their products to. I assure you, if these people had stopped mining, we would not be here today. They have kept faith. They have kept faith. They always go there to mine, looking for who will buy their product. And then a group of people grew up. There can never be a vacuum. We had those people who were called mineral traders. Mineral traders. Pick your phone Mr. Strong in London. Mr. Strong, the one that I bring tea for you is if you fit. And so the mineral traders bought the products of these artisans and didn't know how to go about export. You didn't give them training on how to export, and the government in the other hand was not interested in the exports. They had oil. So do what you want to do. So the man took the minerals, goes to the customs and tells them, Nakusa, see your own part, I paid my duties, and he takes it away. That has been our problem to date. Now, there are facts we should consider. Artisanal mining is traditional to Nigeria. You cannot stop artisanal mining. What you have termed illegal mining cannot be stopped. Illegal mining is like a tree. Cut off the leaves, it will grow back overnight. But something we need to look at now is this. When these illegal miners mine today, who do they sell their products to? They sell their products to the people who export it. Mineral traders and so-called miners. Now, who is the illegal miner? Is it the man who is mining it, or the man who is exporting it? Who is the boss of the man mining it? So please, gentlemen, our miners have an employer, and the employer of those people we tag as illegal miners are the exporters. So our problem here now is to find how to accommodate this group of people who are exporting. And the exporting challenges we have today are simple. We don't have data. By data we mean state of origin, quantity exported, quality exported, and price at which it was exported. The second problem challenge we have, no GDP, no contribution of mineral to GDP. Why? Because the proceeds of the exports are not brought back. Number three, no revenue. We cannot collect our royalties. So, for us to solve our export problems, what we need to do is to accommodate this illegal miner, this man who exports. We must help him export. The NATI report stated clearly, NATI report 2011 and 2014 stated clearly that the problem with export is that people are allowed to export by themselves. And that is what we must stop. A man exported 117,000 tons of tin ore in 2011, far above the quantity exported by China, which was number one that year, and declared he exported tin ore 1 ton for $16. And tin ore that year was going for $14,000 for 1 ton. Company X is still in Jos exporting till tomorrow. In 2014, Company I exported 500 tons of gold. You say, look at money day. 500 tons of gold translates to 15 million ounces. And at the price for that year, $1,060, 15 million ounces at 50% content gold is $9.6 billion. If we had our pricing right in 2014, contribution of solid minerals to the GDP was 3.7%, not 3.3. What these artisans are producing is enough for us to make a mark in the international scene. In August 14 this year, reported by the International Tea Research Institute, Nigeria is number 1 as of June in tea exports in Africa. 2,975 tons. We are number 1 in Africa at this time. And for the past 5 years, we have always been number 5 in the world. When all our exports for the year 2014 were $26,000, tea alone was reported by the IMF for $44 million. So, gentlemen, what we need to do is to bring about a system that will help us export. A system whereby if you want to export, you bring it and drop your exports, go your way. We will help you export it and make sure it is exported at the right price. That system will ensure that it's easy for you to export. It's easy for the government to collect its royalty. Period. In Ghana today, all exports are paid for through the central bank. In Ghana, all exports are paid for through the central bank. So when you bring your export commodity now in Nigeria, just drop it. We'll take the weight, we will determine the quality for you, and we will make sure you get a good price for it. And when the payment is going to come, it will come through the central bank, then we will remove our royalties, JJ, and give you the rest. The royalties should not be paid in Naira. The man is making dollars, why should he pay his royalties in Naira? Royalties, 3% for every miner, but for a trader, he must pay for the damage done to the land by the artisans that are working for him. It is at that point we can get back our money to repair the damaged land. 5% of whatever you sell belongs to government. Gentlemen, I'm just here to spread sparks. The paper is there for us to deal with at the plenary sessions. So I hope that we are enthused a little. There are great things coming. I am here speaking on behalf of the office of the minister. These are the plans that this particular administration is working on. We want revenue from solid minerals. The revenue comes from monitoring exports, and that we shall do.
But I think that paper has thrown up so much polemics in the room and food for deep thought, isn't it?
Yes.
I could see a lot of people doing the arithmetics, and I at the point I just lost track. It was so much money, billions of dollars going up over my head. Thank you so very much, sir. That paper by Mr. Ebota has really energized us, and I think we have enough stamina to stay on for the next 3 papers. We promise you they won't be lengthy, but we're...
According to the definition of Mr. Ebota, the illegal miner is not the person in the pits digging the gold or the tin. The illegal miner is the middleman who buys off them and export illegally. And we have heard earlier that some state governments are constituting themselves into that position of the illegal miner and aiding and abetting. So when they export, to whom does the proceeds go? To the state government or to the pocket of the sovereign in the state? That is a poser. I'm sure a lot of us, by the time we break out into the groups, a lot of people would want to partake in this particular group. You are welcome. if you have concrete suggestions to make. Thank you.
Chairman.